Welcome back to Golf DMV on 1500 AM. The show is always on 1500 AM. Just not sure which segment is actually airing. And on podcast one. Thank you, Lisa Wolf and 1500. We appreciate you putting the show.
We do.
On the radio. Brought to you in part by Cache Spine Sports. For more information, go to CacheSpineSports.com. You were just there recently, right?
I was there last Thursday.
Okay.
Wednesday. I went Wednesday.
And by you, I mean LB. He's hanging out. LB, what's up?
Hey.
And Vern's here as well. Vern, what's up?
What's happening?
Shout out to Vern for all the great videos on Instagram, and he does so much. I mean, he's got a full setup here. We've got this lights, camera, action in the Golf DMV studio.
Trying to promote the show, man.
Exactly.
Trying to get us out there.
Shout out to Coach B also, and the VA you continue to see for this 100th episode thing that we've got here. Denise and Charles and that whole crew. They gave it to us at our 100th episode.
Appreciate it.
Live taping. So we got so much to go through. Apparently, LB did catch up with Brendan to get those lessons. We'll talk about that.
Right.
We've got some PGA stuff to do, some Manny Millions from the American Express stuff. I also want to talk about Torrey Pines. I might actually be going to San Diego in June. So my wife has a conference out there for work. And she said, San Diego, I heard Torrey Pines. And so I'm like, if if the higher ups approve this,
right.
And by approved, I mean that she can go to this conference.
Right. Training.
Let me know because I'm going to
book it.
Yeah, I'm going to book the rounds,
right.
And I'm going to take time off of. Well, I'm going to let my clients know that I'm not going to be working those days. Right. Exactly. And so I need to know this. And I'm kind of pressing her on this a little bit. It's
exactly.
Like, you talk to your boss. You talk to your boss. You talk to your boss. Torrey Pines, by the way, reasonably as far as the price, given, it's, historic kind of.
I love that the first thing he heard when she said, so I'm going to work in San Diego, and then everything else just cuts off.
Right.
That's all he's thinking about is Torrey Pines.
Right, exactly. I didn't think about anything else. And so, so we'll see how that works out or whatever. We got a lot to cover, but the first thing we want to talk about is, we heard earlier today, and today being Sunday when we're recording this podcast, about the untimely death of Kobe Bryant, apparently,
and his daughter,
yes, in a helicopter,
everyone else in the chopper too,
and everyone else in the helicopter, and they were headed to a travel league game, I believe, for her,
for his daughter, yes,
and man, I mean, just you hate to hear that, you hate to see it, but life is short. You never know when you're going to go. You never know how you're going to go.
Yeah.
And
41 years old?
41.
Yeah. She was 13. His daughter was 13.
Yeah. Take the most of every. It really sort of puts in perspective. Like,
well, we say this every time somebody dies.
We do.
Unexpectedly.
We do.
My feeling is retire as soon as you can.
Agree.
As soon as you can.
Get your time back as soon as you can.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't know when your time is up. So
you don't know. Yeah.
Tell people you love them, and then hope you make it home.
Right. No, you're right. And do the things you love. Be around the people that you at least can tolerate. You know what I mean? That you can be around the people you love. Do the things you love. Play a lot of golf. You know what I mean? And it's just. But you hate to hear that.
Yeah. Not that anyone from them will hear it, but condolences to the Bryant family.
Right.
Losing a father.
And to everybody, because everybody. I mean, when I say everybody, I mean everybody who knows the NBA, and most people don't even if they're not even NBA fans, they know who Kobe is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had that kind of stature. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that are, if nothing else.
Connected to him in his orbit.
Exactly.
That are mourning. Yeah.
What I do wonder, though, about Kobe, did he give himself that nickname Mamba?
The Black Mamba? I don't know.
Is that a him thing?
That's
I feel like
question.
he gave
I think so.
himself that.
I think he did.
It seems like something he did.
That's kind of Bryson DeChambeau-ish of him, isn't it?
But in his case, I would give it to him.
Because
he carried it. He carried it.
He talks a lot. And he backs it up. Yeah. So anyway, and so condolences to the Bryant family and all that.
And the NBA community.
Exactly. And by the way, I don't think we did a show since we heard of the passing of Coach Morgan Wooten, legendary DMV coach at DeMatha Catholic High School in Hyattsville, Maryland. And so if you grew up in DC, in the area like I did, like LB did, and Vern, I don't think you grew up in DC, but you came to this area rather young, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Rather young. My family's originally from here, and then moved around as a military brat, and we kind of came back when I was like in 5th grade.
Right. And so if you grew up in this area and you followed sports or you played sports or something like that, you knew about DeMatha, basketball and football, and you knew about Coach Wooten. You know what I mean? And many of us, whether you played for DeMatha or not, you went to some of his camps and things like that. And I mean, or
your school got beat by DeMatha,
and usually beat badly. And so
but he was ripe old 80s, 88,
something like that. Yeah,
he's 80 plus. I know. Yeah, so he
Yeah, I mean, he lived a good life.
He had a good run.
He lived a good
run.
He lived a good life, and he impacted a lot of lives.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of coaches,
yeah.
all the coaches. You know, my dad and all the guys in his sphere too, sphere of influence.
Oh, absolutely.
Huge impact in this area for like a lot of coaches. So yeah,
there we go. So those, man, we started off the show talking about
heavy.
death.
Yeah.
I'll have one. This is one to Kobe and Morgan Wooden.
There you go. Salute.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's jump right in then. Let's move the things a little more positive.
A little lighter.
All right. A little lighter. Let's talk a little bit about golf. Let's jump into let's start with the Manny Million. No, let's start with the Farmers Insurance Open.
Okay.
And so number one about Farmers Insurance, they've got this is kind of off of the tournament. They've got this series of commercials with Ricky Fowler.
Yeah.
Where
as a fake caddy?
Where he's
I saw that
undercover caddy named Richard Flower.
Yeah.
Right.
Funny.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Just YouTube it, guys. Just the Farmers Insurance commercial, undercover caddy, Ricky Fowler, and just watch him. It's hilarious. So the big news with Travelers for the most Farmers Insurance for the most part was the fact that Tiger is playing, and I think it's a full field. And Tiger started out this third round. Now again, by the time while we're taping this, the tournament's still going on. I believe Mark Leishman
is minus 15 as we speak.
He's going to take it home. I've got a great Mark Leishman story too.
Your boy Snedeker is second.
See, I like golfers that I get a chance to meet. And so, I like Mark Leishman, I like Snedeker, I like Ricky Fowler. But I'll share the Leishman story a little bit later. So Tiger's playing. Starting the third round, he comes out, I think he birdies one, par on two, birdies three.
Right.
And I think at that point he was 2 shots back or something like that.
He got real close.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're thinking to yourself, or I'm thinking to myself,
right.
all righty,
he can do it.
Here we go.
He can
He's
do it.
gearing up, and then it didn't. It didn't pan out. But did you guys get a chance to watch at all any part of the Farmers Open? But one thing that was interesting before it started, though, Lisa Cornwell was interviewing Tiger, and he talked about how he gets all this adrenaline ahead of tournaments, and it takes him a while.
He does
now.
get nervous,
yeah.
right?
That he's getting all this adrenaline worked up,
right.
and it takes him a while to kind of settle in. He felt like the sooner I can settle in, the better. And I thought that was interesting. And he said, with him playing less events than he was playing before, that happens even more now.
Right.
Yeah. And that it takes a lot to just kind of settle in and play. And I was like, he is human.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. That's something if you're familiar with like boxing and MMA, that fighters experience called like an adrenaline dump, I guess, when you get in there. And obviously in those events it can be costly because one punch can take you out. But seriously, like fighters get in there and they like expend everything, and then they're just it manifests itself, at least in the fight game, weirdly, where they look tired like in the first round, and then they have to settle in and lock in. And so when I was watching the tournament, I did watch some of the tournament. I think just yesterday I got to see some of the highlights, and I remember one of the commentators saying, I didn't know that the commentator said, now that Tiger's like, I don't know, he was on like, I think hole 10 or something. Now that he's halfway through the round and he's settled in, he should be able to lock in now and start to. I was like, what did he mean by that? So that's what he was talking about. Okay.
Yeah, I watched the first and second round. Then the weekend came and I didn't see much of it. I didn't see much Saturday. Actually, the feed that I normally get from Europe, for whatever reason, they wasn't playing. I mean, they were on it. Right. I can hear it, but the video wasn't coming through for whatever reason. But the women were on, so I watched LPGA yesterday.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, no,
you watch whatever they play.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Put some golf on. I'm going to watch it. So I watched the ladies, and actually it was all right.
Yeah. No. Listen, I watched the LPGA, man. Those
especially after you said last week that we should mimic our swings more after them as opposed to the PGA players. So I really, other than watching their figures, I tried to pay attention to how they, how they was holding the ball and stuff too. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, because a couple of them was a couple of nice ones.
Dang, John
let's move past the figure and let's go towards the swing. What did you notice anything? No, you would say I can mimic this? No, not really.
No, not really. Because this goes to a whole other topic. Is my lesson that I had with Brendan.
Right.
One of the things he showed me, had me doing, one of the little drills he had me doing. I don't know how it would work with women because they're top heavy.
Okay,
so I'm saying, so I don't know how I couldn't see that translation between them.
Right.
But the only thing couple things I took away from the tournament that I did see, they had a hole that was a par 3 that was 102 yards away.
Okay.
A couple ladies, I mean, I'm talking within 5 inches of holding ones. It was
just dropping them in.
Just dropping them in. And again, everything else was more aesthetic.
Okay. I like the way you put it.
I have a question for you. I'll ask you. I'll ask you later. Never mind. I don't want to do it. That's enough for farmers insurance, right? I mean, there's nothing really else going on with that. I mean, I hope I get a chance to play 20 pounds.
Well, before we leave there, I just want to say two things about the farmers insurance. One, the shot tracer that they show on some holes, on some players,
yes,
I want to see that every time.
Yeah.
I want to see that every time somebody hits the ball.
Right.
The PGA's got bazillions of dollars.
Right.
Why can't I see that every time somebody hits the ball? I don't care if it's Snedeker or if it's Johnny Bludo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
Every time
you've got
somebody,
this technology
exactly.
that makes it.
Why can't we see that all the time? Why is it only on select players and on select holes and this?
I do like it. What is it?
Tiger
about
just
it?
missed a birdie putt on 15. I'm not sure what he was aiming for.
Yeah, I got something for him.
It looks just like what I normally do. Because sometimes I'll putt and they'll be like, "What were you aiming for?"
Yeah.
It looks just.
What did you see, right?
Just like that.
What specifically about it do you like? I mean, I like it too, but
because half the time you can't see the ball. They hit it and you can't see it again. The other camera might catch it,
right?
But then you look at the ball against the sky,
right? So at
the
minimum,
you have no references to where it is.
So at a minimum on every tee shot, at least at a minimum.
I also like the way you can see whether they're hitting the draw or fade and how. I mean,
exactly.
I love it.
Like when some of the guys are coming out of the woods or they're all in the rough, and they got hit it back into the fairway, and make it curve to the right. I would love to be able to see that.
Those are impressive.
But they never
like Bubba shot from the Masters.
Oh my goodness!
Remember that?
That was
you never see that stuff. So that's the one thing I had for that. And the second thing was just a list of the people who missed the cut for the farmers insurance.
Richard Flower.
Yeah, Richard Flower missed it. Phil Mickelson again. And this is 2 in a row I think he's missed.
Who, Phil?
Phil.
Yeah.
Xander Schauffele.
Xander Schauffele. Here's the thing. Phil, I think, because last week we talked about this where he says he doesn't want to go on the senior tour. He's like, I'm still hitting bombs. And so it's like, it might be time for you to at least do a VJ Singh and play both.
Right. Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Because we can win some money, and get some wins, and feel good about yourself, and then come out on the tour and try your luck.
Right. Yeah. Beat up on some old guys and then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, you can give it a shot.
Could you see how devastating it'd be though if he went on that tour and like found it really hard to win?
Well, it's the thing.
Here's
Here's a problem with his bombs. His bombs are not in the fairway, and there lies his problem. He hitting bombs, but they in the rough behind a tree.
Oh,
I mean, so what good is it?
Bernard Langer just laughing as he exactly creeps up the leaderboard.
Right. Exactly.
Watch this youngster.
Watch this.
Slow and straight.
These young whippersnappers out here.
Yep. So the other black guy, Harold Varner, did not make it. Justin Rose, who I was happy did make it. I'm not a fan of his. Gary Woodland did not make it. KJ Choi and Francisco Molinari. Notice lately he ain't done jack.
He was on fire 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago, wasn't he?
Yeah. Now he's always he's missed quite a few cuts himself. So
he has got one more major than Bryson DeChambeau though. I just want to be clear. This show doesn't have. I don't hate him. It's just he keeps bringing on himself. He got. You saw the slow pay penalty he got today?
No, he didn't. In the European tour thing.
No, Bryson. I think today. Yeah, I think.
But he's not here. He's in Europe.
Oh, then that's where he got assessed. He got assessed.
Wow. Are you serious?
Yeah. Glenn. Credit to Glenn Washington, my brother-in-law. He sent it in to me via text. Yeah.
Bryson.
He can't win.
He's lucky Brooks wasn't out there.
He can't get out his own way.
He's lucky Brooks wasn't out there.
Yeah.
He would have made an issue to go see him about this slow play. Funny.
Yeah.
So let's go back to, was that it you had, all you had on the...
that's all I got.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's go to the Manny Million situation with the American Express from last week. LB, it's on you.
All right. So last week's winner was, I'm going to start from the top. Guess everybody knows Andrew Landry won at minus 26. He won $1.2 million. Ricky Fowler did make the cut last week.
Yes. All right.
And at minus 18, he won $162,000. Tony Finau minus 17, $122,000, and Cameron Champ minus 15, $63,000. Missed cut last week. Phil Mickelson, Lucas Glover, Jimmy Walker.
Lucas Glover.
Trouble on the home front.
Yep. OGB, the other black guy, he missed it last week. Zach Johnson.
That's Harold Varner the third. Everybody knows who the other black guy is.
And again, Francisco Molinari did not make the cut last week either. So he's 2 weeks without, him and Phil, 2 weeks in a row without making a, well, take that back. The three of them, Phil, Molinari, and Ricky Fowler, 2 weeks in a row of missing the cut. No cut.
Ricky's too busy doing these commercials.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, if I'm not going to win, I'm at least be likable.
Right.
Get my second career
Make some money on the time.
Exactly.
He's got to be probably one of so out of the guys who just had who have won less than 10 times on tour in general and no majors.
Right.
He's got so many endorsements.
Oh,
he's so popular.
Yep. Yep. So the many millions for last week at the American Express is Matt Every. He finished at plus 10. In his final round, he was, I take that back. He finished for the tournament at -1.
Okay.
But on the last day,
plus
he was
10?
plus 10.
No.
82?
Yes.
Okay.
Last day, he was plus 10. he won $13,199. Matt is 5'11", 190 pounds. He's 36 years old from the University of Florida with a degree in business. He is married with no children.
All right.
All right. So here we go.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Okay.
He went pro in 06. But he joined the PGA Tour in 2010.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Pay attention now. He's got 2 wins.
2 wins.
2 wins
on the PGA Tour.
On the PGA
years.
Tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's got 3 second place finishes, 3 third place finishes.
Wow.
21 top 10s.
Okay.
234 events. He made 115 cuts, so it's almost like 50%.
Yeah.
A little bit over 50%, right? Yeah, a little bit under 50%.
Yeah.
Like 49.993 or something.
There we go.
If we're technical.
Yeah. What is his career earnings?
Okay.
2 wins, 3 second places, 3 third places, 21 top 10s, and roughly half of the 234 events that he played in.
I'm going to say 18 million.
Okay.
I was about where Cloud was. My first thought was 15.6.
Okay. And it's 10.1, so Vern wins again.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I always lose. I have no clue how I'm so bad at this. No, I don't think I've ever gotten one right.
You're pretty close this time. It's 3 million difference. Yeah. I was over by 5. 10 million, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I looked up a few little things.
He must have won
on
the Puerto Rican Open at some point.
I forget
I'm only
which
saying
ones
that
he won.
because last week we talked about that. I don't want
Right,
anyone
right.
saying
But
that I'm
10
saying
million
things about.
so he probably had a couple $1 million in there, $1 million type.
Yeah, it must have been
wins.
some shorter, some tournaments in there with smaller purse. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So interesting about Matt Every. Matt Every suspended 12 weeks for violating the PGA Code of Conduct policy for drug abuse.
Whoa!
Oh, no.
What was his drug of choice? Not that that's.
I'm assuming it's I think I'm pretty sure it's marijuana.
Okay.
Because I think it's I read it before. It is marijuana.
Okay.
The PGA Tour announced on Friday, October. This is a little bit old, October 18th, but I just found out about it this week. October 18th, 2019, that the 2-time tour winner Matt Every has been suspended for 12 weeks for violating the PGA Tour's conduct policy of drugs abuse. He'll be eligible to compete on January 7th of 2020. So that's why he was in this tournament, because this is the first time he could actually play since October.
Says I'm ready to move on.
Yes, of course.
That's a direct quote.
Yes.
In 2019, we're still doing this on Wii. No, it is golf, I guess.
Yeah, he missed marijuana. Yeah.
Yes, marijuana. So he said, this is what his quote was: I tested positive for cannabis, a drug that I do not abuse, and a drug that I have a legal prescription for in the state of Florida. I have been prescribed cannabis for my mental health condition by my physician, whom has managed my medical care, for 30 years.
Right.
It has been determined that I am neither an acceptable candidate for the use of prescription Z class drugs, nor, and it's a long
benzodiazepam or something like that.
Pens. Whatever.
Yeah, those drugs.
Those drugs.
Benzodiazepines, something like that. Yeah.
Additionally, these classes of drugs can be highly addictive and harmful to the human body. For me, cannabis has proven to be by far the safest and most effective treatment. With that being said, I have no choice but to accept the suspension and move on. I knew the WADA's, the World Anti-Doping Agency policy was, and I violated it. I do not agree with it for many reasons, mainly for my overall well-being, but I'm excited of what lies ahead in my life and career. Over the last few years, I have made massive strides and know my best is still in front of me. I can't wait to come back better, than ever in January. So it's 35.
Goodness gracious, has there been such a long apology for weed? This is golf. This shows you what golf. If this was like the NFL or MLB, be like, I got pop smoking weed, whatever. What do you got? 2 game suspension. That's it.
Exactly.
And then we move on. I mean, he wrote like a goodness gracious. He felt bad about it.
So he's the two terms that he did win. He won an Arnold Palmer Invitational. In 14 and 15. Those are the 2 wins that he had.
All right.
Wow, back to back.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
How about that?
Matt Everett.
And we still had no idea who he was.
No.
No idea.
And we do a golf show.
Right.
That's true.
No clue.
Exactly.
Oh.
All right. Well, there you go with that.
So now we know there's another golfer that's been in legal. At least he wasn't arrested, I don't think. But I thought I take that back. Maybe it was somebody else. I think, that was him. He did get arrested one time in somewhere in the Midwest, Iowa or somewhere else for possession of marijuana in a previous deal. And I think that might be part of that's how this all came to light. Because he got busted. He got busted on
It's 2019, PJ. Come on.
Right. Yeah.
So what we want to do, we want to come up with a whole segment about when golfers get into the news for the wrong reasons.
Right.
We just don't know what the name is.
Right. I don't like golfers go bad or the good, bad, and the golfer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Send your ideas.
The PGA Police blotter report.
I like that. Okay. I like that. PGA Police. I like that.
Yeah. And so, send your ideas to golfdmvpodcast at gmail.com.
Speaking of golfers who have gone bad, I do have a quick update on Mr. Two Glove.
Okay.
Oh,
what happened?
Tommy Two Glove. So he was released on. This is from last week's show. He got busted for prostitution, soliciting a prostitute. He wasn't a prostitute.
Right.
He got busted for
Not yet.
$60 prostitution charge.
He negotiated the $60 too. Remember,
right, for a quick visit.
Yes,
$60 negotiation.
Quick visit. So he was released on $500 bail. He has
But you know what? Let me just say this too. This should have, as someone with no experience in this,
You're right.
what should have triggered this for him was the fact that the person on the other end
Was willing to negotiate.
was willing to negotiate down to $60.
No, I don't.
You don't think so?
No.
Depends on where you go.
Exactly.
I guess it depends on where you go.
From what I've been told.
I'm with you, Clark.
So I'm assuming that they're like, come on.
If I got to do it, I'm going to do it all the way.
Yeah, well, yes, it's just like I'm not going to $60. Come on, no, I'm not negotiating down.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
Starting
that's
pretty
what,
low at $60.
right?
Well, again, it depends on where you are.
And what the act is.
And he was in Florida where
Robert Kraft land.
Yeah, I mean, so the prices, what it might be in Vegas,
Right.
is definitely not what it's going to be in Florida in those parts. He wasn't in Miami.
I was gonna-
you know what I'm
say,
saying?
it
He
depends
wasn't
on
in a
where you
major
are.
city.
Okay. Right.
He was in some little town, whatever.
Right.
So yeah, so the price, I don't think the price was inaccurate.
But he
said that way.
negotiated.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, it's anything. You don't pay sticker price on the car, do you?
Okay, here we
I'm
go.
just saying. So everything is negotiable. It's America.
I mean,
Ain't that what the president said? Everything is negotiable.
And he, as a man who's paid for some in his day as well, the president.
Right.
So,
He might have 30,000.
he might have negotiated.
He probably negotiated that down. Yeah, right. I'm sure he did. Yeah, that wasn't the going rate at the beginning. Oh my God. So back
We've
to
talked about prostitution way too much in this show.
this is where golf takes us. We didn't plan it.
Yeah. We didn't write the news we reported.
Right, exactly. So Tommy Two Gloves, right? He has $500. He got on $500 bail.
Right.
February 6th is his first court date.
Okay.
So that's in a couple of weeks. So I'll be following that.
I'll be following the story closely.
Yes, I
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
So he's one first degree misdemeanor solicitation charge.
Could he go to jail for this?
It does carry.
He could, yeah.
you could. He won't.
He won't, yeah. Pay the fine.
I mean, honestly, he's white. He's not going to jail. He's not going to jail. He's going to pay a little fine.
There was a brother that got shot in the hotel by the police.
Right.
Ma'am, are you in danger?
But I just want to read this one part. So after the win, Tommy Two Gloves dedicated the win to his family. This is when he won 2 weeks ago.
Of course.
And I quote, "My wife, I love her to death. Her and my boys mean everything to me."
They sure do.
End quote. And one more Corn Ferry Tour. The other tournament that happened last week that Tommy Two Gloves he had missed the cut on it. Remember, he won the first week. The next week he missed the cut.
Well, because it didn't show. Because he was in.
No. That was just, no. This
week
this,
after.
Yeah,
Oh,
this was the week after. Yeah. So the Corn Ferry Tour. This was the Bahamas Great Abaco.
Yeah, that long
classic
eczema.
Bahia Mar.
Yeah.
Jared Wolf won at -18. He won $108,000 for first place.
Not bad.
Yeah. So, but that's all on Mr. Tommy Two Gloves and the Corn Ferry Tour.
All right.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Super funny. Couple birthday shout outs. Jack had a birthday this week, right?
Yep.
And,
Big 80. Big 80.
second best golfer of all time.
Yep.
What else?
I saw that.
Got any beef? I'm just wondering.
No.
To me, I mean,
so?
right? Yeah. I think Tiger is.
Supplanted him, huh?
Yeah.
All
I mean,
right.
think about, we all know, everyone couldn't play on tour for the most part, way back in history and stuff like that. I mean, there were some things like level of competition.
Reduced field. It was
a reduced field.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yes, do it for as long as he did too.
Mm-hmm. And for Tiger to have the total wins on tour that he has and the majors,
Right.
Jack doesn't have those total numbers.
Right.
I don't think he's.
Well, remember all these superlatives when I get because I have something for him later too.
Oh, for Jack?
No, for Tiger. So,
for Tiger.
Yeah. So we'll get to that.
Okay. So is Jack? I'm sorry. This is a very it's an ignorant question.
That's okay. This is what Golf DMV is all about. If you want stuffy golf talk, like how
plenty of podcasts
Bermuda grass grows this and it grains against. There's plenty of, and no. Because I listen to some of those shows, and that's good. And there's a place for. Because I listen to some of it, and there's a place for it.
Right.
This is not it. I mean, these are guys getting around talking about golf and having fun
in the way we do on the golf course, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Basically,
with less swearing.
Yeah.
Right. With less swearing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Absolutely less swearing.
Less drinking.
And less swearing. And no cigars.
Yeah.
Who is it Jack or Palmer that has the major record, right?
Oh, yeah.
It is Jack. Okay.
18.
I just want to make sure. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to go quick number real quick. Most wins on the PGA Tour. Because I know, of course, Tiger is about to
break Snead's record.
Yeah, Tiger and Snead is tied at 82.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see
the next closest is 40-something. I thought. Yeah. This might be Phil.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, I think it is Phil. He's around 44 or something like that.
This is one of the funny things. We talked about this on the show.
Yeah, we talked about
Arnold
this a
Palmer
while
got
ago.
62. Hogan's got 64. Nicholas got 73. So he's not that far back, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
And
I was
Tiger
gonna say,
with 81. Yeah.
Yeah. Arnold Palmer 62. Yeah.
All right. Jack tied for the first best golfer ever.
And Ben Hogan's still up in the top 5 all these years later.
Exactly.
With 64.
Yeah,
Wow.
there was when I was watching the PGA on Sky Sports out of Great Britain, they were talking about how when Tiger does break this record, and one guy's like, "Oh, once he breaks this, it'll never be broken."
Okay.
And you know what I mean. But then one guy came out, he said, "Well, we said that about Snead's record."
Right.
You know, and the guy said the point he made was, it may not happen in our lifetime, because he was saying, he said, 20 years we all gonna be toes up anyway.
Right.
That's basically what he said. Yeah. I like how they talk over in Europe. They don't have as much. They're not as politically correct as we can sometimes be in the United States.
No, they keep it pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he was like, we're all going to be dead. But he said with the technology and the way people are training and
right.
somebody will come along at some point and break that record as well.
You can't ever keep saying, like, this was the best guy we ever saw in history. That's it.
Hands down. Exactly.
Like, you can't
make that up.
And to that point, I was watching the tour, and we'll go to break after this, and they had a commercial about the Golf Hall of Fame down in Orlando. Is that something you guys be interested in going to see? Like, I was looking like, I don't know
Probably
if I
not.
actually would.
I've been to that town, and actually we went in that community and actually played a course there, my wife and I. But to go to the museum, I was like, whatever. I don't know.
So no, the answer is no.
Okay.
Now, I will qualify that. If we were to ever go back there for a quote unquote golf trip and play some golf and had some time, then I would probably like to walk through and just see what is.
But nothing that you'd make a trip surrounding that.
No,
Absolutely not.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
At least not at this point in my career.
Yeah.
No.
It's Golf DMV. We'll come back with more golf talk coming up after the break.